A man rarely notices the exact moment respect leaves him. There is no announcement, no confrontation, no dramatic fall from status. It happens quietly, in private, in the invisible places where no one is watching. It begins when a man starts negotiating with his impulses instead of commanding them. Sexual indulgence does not announce itself as weakness. It disguises itself as relief, entitlement, stress management, or just being human. But each time a man chooses release over restraint, he trains his nervous system to avoid tension rather than withstand it. And respect is born only in men who can carry tension without flinching. At first, nothing seems wrong. He still works. He still talks well. He still has ambition. But internally, something has shifted. His mind begins orbiting pleasure more than purpose. His thoughts fragment. His attention shortens. He becomes subtly reactive. Where he once moved with intention, he now moves with appetite. This is the beginning of the fracture, the loss of inner hierarchy. Desire is no longer beneath him. It sits at the same table. Eventually, it takes the head seat. The unrespected man is not loud or obviously weak. In fact, he often appears normal, even likable. But his presence lacks gravity. His words feel optional. His boundaries are porous. When he speaks, people listen politely, not attentively. When he disagrees, there is no friction. When he asserts himself, it feels rehearsed, not embodied. This is because a man who routinely surrenders to sexual impulse cannot convincingly project authority. Authority requires self-trust, and self-trust is impossible when a man knows, deep down, that he does not keep his own word to himself. Sexual indulgence trains a man to seek relief instead of resolution, to discharge pressure instead of converting it. Over time, this rewires how he handles life. Discomfort becomes something to escape rather than a signal to sharpen. Boredom becomes dangerous. Silence becomes unbearable. He needs stimulation, affirmation, novelty. This dependency leaks outward in ways he does not notice, over-explaining his thoughts, softening his opinions, scanning faces for approval, adjusting his tone to be liked rather than respected. None of this is conscious. That is what makes it deadly. People do not disrespect him because they judge his habits. They disrespect him because they feel the absence of containment. Humans are instinctive. We sense whether a man is governed internally or scattered, whether he stands on principle or appetite, whether his no is real or collapses under pressure. A man who cannot deny himself privately will eventually be denied publicly, not through punishment, through irrelevance. There is a specific look the unrespected man carries. His eyes wander, his posture leaks. His energy seeks rather than anchors. He may be competent, even intelligent, but something about him feels unfinished, like a man who should be solid, but isn't. In group settings, he is interrupted more easily. In male spaces, he is not deferred to. In female spaces, desire may exist, but respect erodes quickly. He becomes safe, predictable, readable. And nothing kills respect faster than being readable. This is the real cost of sexual indulgence, not moral failure, but structural collapse. The man loses his center. His internal chain of command breaks. Pleasure begins issuing orders that discipline once enforced, and once that happens, the world responds accordingly. Respect is withdrawn not out of cruelty, but instinct, the same way you wouldn't trust a man who can't hold eye contact to lead you through danger. The tragedy is that the unrespected man often senses something is wrong, but misdiagnoses it. He thinks he needs more confidence, better communication, sharper style, louder assertiveness. He does not realize the problem is deeper. His presence is thin because his discipline is thin. His authority is weak because his impulses are strong. And until that hierarchy is corrected, no amount of outward adjustment will restore what was lost. Respect does not vanish overnight. It drains slowly, moment by moment. every time a man chooses indulgence over mastery and calls it harmless. By the time a man realizes he is no longer respected, the damage is already done. What he feels is not shock, but confusion. Conversations end sooner than they used to. Eyes drift when he speaks. Women listen, but they don't lean in. Men acknowledge him, but they don't defer. He can't point to a single moment where things changed, because the change didn't happen in public. It happened in private, through repetition, through habit, through indulgence disguised as normal behavior. Sexual overindulgence does not destroy a man loudly. It dissolves him. It blunts his edge. It lowers his internal voltage. The problem is not sex itself. It's frequency without purpose. Release without command. Each indulgent act teaches the body that tension is something to eliminate, not something to harness. Over time, this trains a man to seek comfort reflexively, and comfort is the enemy of hierarchy. Here is the truth most men never hear. Sexual energy is the same force that produces ambition, intensity, and presence. When that energy is constantly discharged, nothing accumulates. There is no pressure, no charge, no weight behind the man's actions. He becomes emotionally available, psychologically porous, energetically light. People don't fear him. They don't challenge him seriously. They don't follow him. They sense, on a level beneath language, that he is emptying himself faster than he is building. This is why overindulgent men become readable, predictable, easy to manage. Their moods rise and fall with access to pleasure. Their confidence spikes after release and collapses shortly after. Their motivation becomes inconsistent. They chase stimulation, then wonder why life feels flat. This inconsistency is fatal to respect. A man without stable internal pressure cannot generate external authority. Women, in particular, feel this immediately. Attraction may survive for a time, lust often does, but respect does not. The overindulgent man becomes emotionally legible. His desire leaks. His attention is easy to capture. His presence lacks restraint, and restraint is the foundation of polarity. A man who releases constantly has nothing held back, nothing dangerous, nothing reserved. He becomes available in a way that erodes depth. In male hierarchies, the cost is just as severe. Men respect stillness, certainty, and containment. The indulgent man talks more than he should, explains himself, fills silence. He is unconsciously seeking validation, not because he lacks intelligence, but because his internal authority has been compromised. He cannot rely on himself, so he looks outward for confirmation. Other men sense this immediately. They may not articulate it, but they respond by stepping over him, interrupting him, or ignoring him altogether. This is where the quiet trap closes. The man begins to feel restless, anxious, disconnected. He doesn't know why his presence doesn't land anymore, so he seeks more stimulation to compensate, more sex, more content, more distraction. But this only accelerates the decline. The more he releases, the less he contains. The less he contains, the less respect he commands. It becomes a loop. Indulgence feeding emptiness. Emptiness feeding indulgence. Now here is the part most men miss, and the reason many never recover. Respect does not return through confidence hacks, dominance posturing, or louder masculinity. It returns only when internal pressure is rebuilt. When a man stops leaking energy and starts holding it. When desire is no longer something that drags him forward, but something he carries without spilling. This is the hinge point, the moment where the direction can still change, because the same force that dissolved his authority can be redirected to rebuild it, if, and only if, he learns how to retain without suppressing, to hold tension without numbing it, to let energy accumulate instead of escape. And this is where most men fail, not because the path is unclear, but because it requires patience, containment, waiting, endurance. the very qualities indulgence erased. If a man understands this principle, everything that follows becomes inevitable. Respect does not return when a man demands it. It returns when his internal order is restored. When a man reclaims command over his sexual energy, the shift is immediate, not theatrically, but structurally. His nervous system slows. His movements become economical. His speech shortens. He no longer leaks urgency. This is not an act. It is the natural posture of a man who has stopped hemorrhaging himself for momentary relief. Sexual discipline is often misunderstood as repression, denial, or moral austerity. That misunderstanding is why most men fail. Discipline is not about killing desire. Desire is power. Discipline is about containing it, holding it under pressure without letting it dictate behavior. The man who masters this does not become rigid or joyless. He becomes dangerous in the quiet way. He walks into rooms without advertising himself and still shifts the atmosphere. Not because he tries, but because his energy is no longer fragmented. There is a specific moment in this transition that every disciplined man recognizes. It comes after days, then weeks, of refusing the easy release. The body protests first: restlessness, irritation, a hum under the skin. Most men fold here. They mistake this pressure for pathology. In reality, this is accumulation. This is energy returning to its source. If the man holds through this phase, without fantasy, without substitution, without mental leakage, something reorganizes. His attention sharpens, his gaze steadies, his thoughts stop scattering. For the first time in a long while, he feels weight behind his presence. This is where respect begins to regenerate. Not socially, internally. The man starts trusting himself again. He keeps promises he never announces. He says no in private, so his yes in public carries gravity. He stops explaining himself. Silence becomes comfortable. Boredom loses its power. The nervous habit of seeking stimulation fades. What replaces it is direction. He wakes with pressure instead of craving. Pressure to move, to build, to confront, to progress. Externally, the effects are unmistakable. Conversations change without effort. People stop interrupting him. Women respond differently, not louder, not needier, but more alert, more contained themselves. They sense something held back, something unavailable. Men adjust their posture around him, not out of fear, but instinct. This is hierarchy reasserting itself, not through dominance displays, but through coherence. The disciplined man does not preach restraint, he embodies it. He does not posture masculinity, he carries it. His sexuality no longer leaks through his eyes, his tone, his timing. It is compressed, stored, converted into stillness and certainty. He can be around desire without chasing it. He can feel temptation without bowing. This is the difference between a man who resists and a man who commands. What most men never realize is that respect was never taken from them. It was suspended, waiting. The moment a man stops negotiating with his impulses, respect begins to return automatically, because the world responds to internal order. Always has, always will. The unrespected man becomes respected the moment he no longer needs to be seen indulging to feel alive. When he replaces relief with endurance. When he chooses pressure over pleasure. When he decides that nothing outside of him is allowed to issue commands inside his body. This is not a lifestyle adjustment. It is a reinstallation of authority. And once authority is restored, respect follows. Silently, inevitably, without debate. Thus remember, we are Indeceptor. The Crusaders Bundle. 4 ruthless lessons. 1 unbreakable code. For a limited time, claim all 4 Indeceptor audiobooks for the price of 3. Step inside the private archive of discipline, power, and psychological warfare, where lust is conquered, the mind is weaponized, and legacy is forged. Don't just listen. Arm yourself. Indeceptions.com, the ultimate semen retention master course, a step-by-step transformation system that takes you from lust-driven to purpose-driven, from scattered to laser-focused, from drained to powerful. Inside are 30 high-level lessons, one for each day, that dismantle your habits, rebuild your mindset, sharpen your energy, and teach you how to redirect your sexual power into wealth, ambition, creativity, strength, and leadership. You also get access to a private community of men who are walking the same path, a brotherhood built on discipline, not chaos. If you're tired of slipping, tired of relapsing, tired of being controlled by urges instead of controlling your destiny, then step into the 30-day ascension and start the transformation that will change everything. Available now for pre-order, indeceptions.com. Master your energy, and you master your life.